from dead broke to worth hundreds of millions. So how did Hillary end up filthy rich? Pay-to-play politics. Staggering amounts of cash poured into the Clinton Foundation from criminals, dictators, countries that hate America. Hillary cut deals for donors, sold out American workers, exploited Haitians in need. She even handed over American uranium rights to the Russians. Hillary Clinton only cares about power, money, and herself.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. And you can tell them to go themselves.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
When Mexico sends its people, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
You got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember.
Our children and grandchildren will look back at this time, at the choices we are about to make, the goals we will strive for, the principles we will live by, and we need to make sure that they can be proud of us.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
So this is called the prisoner's dilemma. I'm going to try and explain this pretty simply and pretty quickly. Basically, the situation we're looking at is Jan and Bob both committed crimes. They have been caught by the police, and now they're going to get interrogated separately. Now, they each have basically two options to talk to the cops. They can either stay quiet and not say anything, or they can betray the other person. And basically what's going to happen is if they both stay quiet, then they're both going to spend a year in jail. If one of them betrays and the other stays quiet, then the one who betrays goes to jail for 0 years, the one who stays quiet goes for 3 years. If they both betray each other, then they're both going to go to jail for 2 years. So basically, you know, what should happen, if you actually total all the years up, is they should stay quiet. But you're going to end up seeing that they're both going to betray each other, and basically here's why. Let's take Bob's perspective. If he thinks that Jan is going to stay quiet, then he should betray her so that he can go free, instead of spending 1 year in prison. So he could either betray her and not go to jail, or he could spend 1 year, if he thinks that she's going to be quiet. If he thinks that she's going to betray him, he should definitely betray her so that he only spends 2 years instead of 3. Jan is in the exact same situation and will react basically the exact same way. Now, you can see that they both should have stayed quiet because it's only going to result in 2 years total in jail time, but because they both realize that, from an individual standpoint, they can always gain by betraying the other person, they're both going to settle on betraying each other and actually totaling the highest number of jail time as opposed to just staying quiet. So this prisoner's dilemma is basically realizing that your individual interest is better than, if you were to settle with another person. So basically, we're able to tie this back in. You can use the example that I just gave you, but instead we could say, it's Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton who are the ones that are in the situation where, instead of being quiet or betraying each other, they could both make positive campaign ads or they could both make negative campaign ads, knowing that these negative campaign ads are actually going to help them in the long run. There's an article from CNN, a little snippet that says that over time, a message is likely to become disassociated from its sponsor. There is some evidence that negative ads benefit from this effect. Immediately upon hearing and seeing an attack, you might dismiss it as just being politics. Then typically several weeks later, when you're making your voting decision, something in your mind recollects the negative information. You've likely forgotten when or where or whom you've heard it from, but the negative content stuck. We can use this kind of stuff to further the example of why candidates would rather use negative campaign ads. They obviously benefit them more than if they were to use some kind of positive campaign ad. Therefore, the prisoner's dilemma is in effect.